Hey, Robert here. Are you a 3D artist trying to find your way in the social media world on which platforms to use, how to really promote yourself to the world, how to step into the world, and how to really build like connections with people that can result to either finding a job or finding freelance clients or maybe other fellow 3D artists to connect with and collaborate with? It's a question I really get a lot, so I thought it would be good to dedicate a video to that. But before I do that, let me introduce myself. I am Robert. I've been a 3D game artist for 22 years, where I've also, besides being in the gaming industry, have been a little bit in the creative advertising world as well. And for the last 8 years, I've had my own 3D art company called Mesh Masters, where we've helped clients, really produce their projects, their games. Where we, with our team, provide the art, manage it, do the art direction, and really deliver an end product that they can be proud of. And then specifically this year, I've been taking everything I've learned for the last 22 years to give it back to the community, back to our fellow 3D artists, to help them also learn from the journey I went through, both the business side and the art side. That said, let's get back to the video. So where to even begin when it comes to social media? How should you promote yourself? On what platforms should you be? And I really want to dedicate this video mostly through what I have explored myself and what I have seen that has worked in this regard. And I don't necessarily want to focus it only on social media platforms, but rather on where did we get most of our results and success from? Where did we get our clients from and our network from? Because like I said, 8 years running Mesh Masters and marketing, lead generation, and of course social media platforms is a really important facet to any business. And so, I want to share that with you today. And to just jump straight into it, I want to say and begin with, in our current information age, which is like, well, we're just constantly being bombarded with information. And a lot of that stuff is about, it's pretty much advice, just like this video is also advice to you, of course. And I want to start by saying that that advice is good, but it is also good to realize that there is also a concept of content marketing, social media marketing. And of course, the goal of that type of marketing is to give value to people. And because you're giving value through, let's say, YouTube videos like this one, you're hoping to engage with people so then they can buy from you down the line. That's not bad, it's not evil, but it is good to realize that a lot of the advice out there is primarily built to hopefully transform you into a buyer. And it's good to kind of keep that in the back of your head when you're looking at advice, because sometimes, in my opinion, the advice you see out there is very watered down as an effect, or it's not really the best advice specifically for you and your situation. Meaning, don't get swamped by all the advice out there. A lot of the advice will tell you to do A, B, C, D and do like everything, etc., etc. But that can really kind of make your grounding in what to do very difficult, because everybody's telling you to do it in a different way. And what I'm trying to say here is, forget all of that. Keep it simple for yourself. And instead of trying to follow everything that's out there. Focus only on 1 or 2, maybe 3 channels, and then just go all in on those channels. Not only to simplify it for yourself and to prevent you from going crazy, but also because you need to guard yourself when it comes to where does your time and energy go into. Because we're all like limited in time and energy, especially if you're also doing freelancing or you have a job. So don't go crazy, don't worry about it, just focus on 1 or 2 channels. But then, what channel should you focus on? So looking back at my journey with Meshmasters, which really started 8 years ago when I decided to leave my job back then, facing the fire and the uncertainty of, losing that foundation of income and then trying to freelance. And then from freelancing became Meshmasters. And in that whole journey, trying out all these different platforms and methods and, trying to find clients. Looking back, I would really say there's only 2 major channels, you could say 3 major channels for me and Meshmasters that really pulled in 99% of the clients and the opportunities and the network around us. The first one is not even a social media channel. It is actually the friendships, the relationships, and the network that I've built up from the people I know from school, art school, but the people I also know from the companies I worked at, the studios I worked at. And some of them are more friends. Others were, for example, managers that I used to work under, right, at a studio. And this network has really brought in not the most clients, but the best clients. And when somebody would come to me from my own network, it was almost always a guaranteed success when it came to getting the opportunity in, to get the client in. So your network is really important. Not only, again, to get opportunities, but I would also say to have, from the people on my own level, so let's say other 3D artists, that would also lead to maybe not opportunities that would bring in money, but opportunities like collaborations, or if you bring in a bigger project, that you can do that together. So your network is, I would say, top 3 most important channels that you should cultivate and start building. And if you're an introvert like me, that doesn't mean you have to kill yourself. It just means maintain friendships, maintain contact, even with your managers, let's say. Maybe like once a year or twice a year, shoot them an email or a message. We just had New Year's Eve. Great time to just, again, wish, what's the word in English? Like to wish them a good new year, right? Just to keep the lines a little bit open. And it's all, in my opinion, it's more about building those friendships. It's not about trying to gain something from people, but it's more about building friendships or keeping that line from a friend to friend open. And then who knows what will spawn out of that. So your network is super key. Slowly over time, cultivate it. If you're maybe not so good at it, or socializing is not your strongest skill, I get that. I also used to be like that. Don't worry about it too much. Just slowly over time, make sure you do push yourself in those situations. Again, you don't have to kill yourself, but the more you practice socializing or reaching out or maintaining relationships, the easier it becomes over time. And again, it's just human to human connection. You're not selling anything, you're not trying to get anything. It's from friend to friend. So that's your network. The second one, and for us the most important one, is LinkedIn, actually. From all the social media platforms, The only one that really did anything for us is LinkedIn, and it is really the main channel for us where we get most of our results from. And here too, don't worry about it too much. Just focus on LinkedIn, skip everything else. And if you find certain things difficult, again, it's a skill that you can develop and cultivate so it becomes easier over time. But what should you do then on LinkedIn? Because many people think I need to post your content. Yeah, okay, part of it. But I would say the most important aspect you can or thing you can do on LinkedIn is actually connecting with people, expanding your LinkedIn network. So when you see people that you're not connected with yet, why don't you just connect with them? I sometimes hear people say that, am I even allowed to do that? Yeah, of course. I mean, you're allowed to talk to anybody. You can also talk to people on LinkedIn. So, for example, LinkedIn has this recommendation section where they recommend certain people to you. Yeah, look around. Maybe there's like art directors or fellow 3D artists, and you can just hit that connect button, add a little note while you're connecting, like, hey, cool, I'm learning a thing or building environments. Thought it would be cool to connect because you're in the same industry, and send. And then if they accept, yeah, you can build a little conversation like, hey, nice to meet you. Just build again, friend to friend, human to human. Start a little talk and see what they're doing. You could always ask how's their career going or how's the industry going for them. And just a little talk, and then in that mini conversation, you can always ask or say like, hey, cool, I'm trying to get into the industry. Can I ask you for any advice? Could be, can you look at my portfolio? Or how should you even get started? Or do they have advice on how to get into the industry? And if you ask it from a human to human level, so being authentic, most people will, if they're able, of course, at least help you a little bit. And from there, you're slowly building your network. But then what do you do with the network, right? So then you have the posting. Now, again, don't kill yourself. You don't have to post every 3 hours or every day, but showing your work is very important. And LinkedIn and posting your work is really strong. And that could be either finished work, and that could be, hey, cool, finish the thing. But it could also be, I finished this work. I'm looking for advice on how to improve it. Can anybody help? And if you just do that in the public wall, pretty sure people will comment and give you advice, right? So again, you're showing your work. It could also be that you're halfway and you're just showing progress, especially if you're tackled maybe a difficult element of that work. So maybe you were stuck in a certain design. Showing how you faced that problem, but also how you resolved it, that could be a really good post to make. Again, because you're doing it by showing your authenticity, your vulnerability to an extent, but you're also showing value that other people can learn from, because you're showing how you resolved it. And giving value, again, is people like that, of course. And if you say that or post it in a human to human way, people will feel that it's authentic and so engage with you more. And then that posting will obviously supplement your network very well. And then it's a bit up to you how much you want to employ both of them. But again, here too, if at some point you notice a better connection with somebody, maintain that relationship. It doesn't have to mean you have to send them a message every week, but from time to time, let's say every 3 months or maybe twice a year, it's cool to check in, just like you do with your friends. See how things are going. And then if you are looking for a job or you're looking for freelance clients, you can just say, hey, cool, good to speak to you again. I'm actually looking for a new job. Do you have any advice, or do you know anybody or any studios who could use a new team member, for example? And if you do that, again, human to human, friend to friend, most people will at least engage with your request. If they're able to help, it's a different story. But still, slowly you're cultivating your network and showing your work. So that's LinkedIn. And like I said, a lot of people I notice when they come to me or they're in our boot camp, many artists tend to kind of think that they don't have the permission to do that, to reach out to people, but really you do. If you have that feeling of, am I allowed to do this? Try to sort of deprogram that out of your system. Again, over time it will go away, but you are allowed to connect with people. So yeah, LinkedIn is super important. Your past network is super important. And the third one, depending again if you like it or not, is you can also build relationships and friendships with other fellow artists in Discord groups or Slack groups, and Polycount also, I would say. Polycount seems to be a bit smaller than it used to be like 10 years ago. But it can be really cool, especially if you're learning a lot still or you're building cool little projects, to find a cool group and show your work and engage with others and help others. And again, it's up to you if you like to do that, but you could also engage with in voice calls, because it's very easy these days to just kind of be like the laptop warrior, only chat, you never see faces, and that tends to never really go anywhere. So both also for LinkedIn, but also these groups, it's better to just go into voice calls, have a video camera. Again, be a human, connect with other humans, not only with words on a screen. And that's even cooler if you're in a voice call talking about art, or maybe there's some other guy in this group and you can give your advice directly in a video call. So I would say those three are quite powerful, where I have to say that the groups for us didn't necessarily lead directly to clients, but it did lead to people in our network. So I would say those three are really important. LinkedIn being number one, and your previous network being just as important as LinkedIn. But then we also have places like ArtStation, or let's say Instagram, or maybe Behance. Those are also really important, but I consider them what I always call presence platforms. So you're not necessarily engaging with the platform, but you have your portfolio there, or your brand there. And obviously ArtStation is very important because it's very known. So a key platform, but I don't see it as a social media platform. It's just a presence. And you could do the same with Instagram if you like. I would just say skip Instagram if you just don't have the time and energy, but you can see it as an additional portfolio. But I would only really do that if you enjoy it. And it's the same with Behance. Behance is a little more the designing world. So for us 3D artists, it's not that special. But you can still build a presence there if you like. That said, cut away everything you don't need to do. Really, LinkedIn and your network is the most important, and then ArtStation. And that's it. That's really it. Most of the effort should go into LinkedIn, really. And maybe a group chat platform or a Polycount if, figure out what you like the most. But that's it. Keep it simple. Don't kill yourself. Like I said, focus on 2 or 3, really only 2, I would say, and you're good to go. And then just put all effort into that. And to just recap again, build out a network over time. Start doing that already, but also show your work to the world. And I know for many of us, including me in the past, both of them were really difficult, emotionally very difficult to do. There was a lot of resistance. And I totally get it, but start doing it anyways. You don't have to kill yourself, but, engage at least once a week, spend an hour once a week, even if it's difficult for you. Explore, try it out. It might be difficult in the beginning, but over time you will see that you can do this. It's not that scary, and who knows what opportunities will come out. So I hope that helps. Like I said, been running Mesh Masters for 8 years. This year, I've been really expanding what we do with giving back to the community by not only these videos, but also by building training courses. We're running a boot camp, which is all about what I call the business of art, with subjects like we talked about in this video, how to network yourself. So if you want to learn more, either just shoot me a DM or join our Mesh Masters Discord, and feel free to just ask anything. And if a training, a boot camp, or a course is really what you're looking for, then that's also on the way, or you can already participate. So yeah, take a look, and feel free to just shoot me a direct DM if you want a more personal, question you want to ask. That's all good. Feel free to do so, and I will catch you in the next video.